It is early in the morning and I just arrived in the office of Ralf Aust. Ralf Aust is one of the few straight razor manufactories in Germany, based in Solingen. This is just the first quick snapshot of his office and some of the tools he needs to produce his straight razors. What we can see now is the specialized software Ralf Aust is using to make his own custom scales. Thanks to this software, in conjunction with his machine for scales, which we are seeing on the next screen, he's able to produce basically every kind of custom scales he wants to. So here we are switching to the machine. The way it works is he puts the raw material for the scales into this machine, adjusts the height to the size of the material, and gives then on the computer basically a print order. So this is, for example, one of the materials he is using for his custom scales. The machine is resetting, and then he will try to adjust exactly with this. He will adjust the height of the material to the machine so the machine knows what kind of power it needs to cut it through with the laser. Now he gave the print command to the laser machine, and here you can see how the laser is easily and very silently cutting the whole scale. The laser follows exactly the design chosen in the software on the PC. As you can see, this goes pretty fast and really silent. This is how it looks like afterwards for the first side of the scale. Then the second side has to be made. When both sides are finished, they still need to be prepared in a second step and then polished. Now let's have a look side by side, raw material versus final product. We went now downstairs to the basement where different machines are used. For demonstration purposes, Mr. Aust shows how a straight razor has to be polished. The machine has first to get up to speed of around 3000 RPMs, so please do not forget your gloves. Mr. Aust shows then with a used straight razor how he has to hold the razor to be able to polish it. Look with how much effort he has to press the blade against the wheel. It is extremely difficult with such a thin blade to press hard enough the razor without breaking it. You need a lot of experience to succeed with this. One of the last steps in the process of making a straight razor is obviously to sharpen it. Since the number of straight razors produced daily is, even for such a small company, quite high, you do the rougher honings on sharpen wheels, what a private person might do with in the 1K stone, for example. So you see here the different wheels with the sharpening stones on it to fasten the whole process. But this will equal around 4K stone maximum. Only the very last honing steps will then be made on smaller stones, either natural stones or synthetic stones. So those are the next small stones he's using for sharpening. I forgot to ask which particle size it is or what K size it is, but I'm pretty sure it was below 8K because he uses a white Naniva 12K for the finish, which will come later. Of course, I brought my brand new Naniva Goken 12K with me, and Mr. Aust was very curious to test it, since he also uses a 12K Naniva, but not the newest generation. So we were both curious to find out about the difference between the two. I can tell you already, he liked the new Naniva Goken 12K Goken really a lot. So much that he ordered one for himself after our meeting. Same goes for the Naniva Goken 8K, which I brought also with me. The final touch, of course, is the stropping of the straight razor. It's very important, and Mr. Aust prefers at the moment the one you see here. He tried different variations also with chromoxide and so on, but he doesn't like that much. He doesn't like so much the paces. To test whether the straight razor has enough sharpness so he can pass the Mr. Aust test, he's using the hair test. This is basically the only objective way to test whether the blade is sharp enough. And he can repeat it how much he wants to. I'm sorry that the focus from our camera was not good enough for this to show you exactly. And then in the last part of the video, you see basically we were discussing the different leather types and what kind of experience he made with pastes. Mr. Aust doesn't use any pastes for his straight razors. He tested it in the past, but he didn't like the results, so he prefers to have it directly from the stone. So that's it, folks. I hope you liked it. If so, please do subscribe our YouTube channel and of course visit us on the internet.